Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to do a 28 to 30 week pregnancy update. If you haven't been following along, my name is Shona. I live up in the northeast of Scotland. I'm married and I already have a 2-year-old daughter. So this is baby number 2 and it's going to be a boy. We found out early on. So getting into week 28 to 30. Today I am 30 plus 1, which is so exciting. I think it's nice to get to this mark and you know that this is the last point. The last like countdown. You've got 10 weeks to go to your due date and it feels, it's a good feeling because you know that things are almost there, almost over. You've only got a few more weeks, work's almost done, your maternity leave's almost kicking in. It's a good feeling to get to this point. It's definitely been a struggle the last couple of weeks, not a huge amount, but I'll give you a brief rundown of symptoms and show you my bump. So I think again tiredness has been a huge factor the last couple of weeks. Really struggling. I just would love to be able to take a nap in the afternoon, but obviously I'm working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and just not getting that nap. It's just been so hard. By the end of the night we're doing renovations, so the house is in a bit of disarray and there's just a lot going on just now and I just feel exhausted. It's really tough to get through the days, and I travel to my work and even sometimes that feels like a struggle, just driving to work as opposed to getting through an 8-hour day and then driving home and then having to deal with Olivia. It's really tough, but we've got 7 weeks to work, so not too long. I've got an easy couple of weeks. I've got a couple of days off, so that will hopefully help. But yeah, tiredness has definitely been a big thing. The other big thing that happened last week, probably into week 28, was I had this burning sensation just sort of like to the right of my belly button, and it honestly felt like I had burnt the skin. That's just that weird sensation. It like started on the Sunday and it continued like Monday, Tuesday, and it was awful. Like at points, you know, like when you get sunburn and you feel like you can't even put anything on it, like clothes or anything, because it's just so hot and burny and awful. Well, it was like that, and it was just right down my belly button, like to the right. Oh, just horrific. And I did speak to a midwife and she seemed confused by it. She was thinking it might be like an allergy, if like we had a changed washing powder or that, but I think I had a look online and there was a couple of people had mentioned this before. A couple of people had said that they had the same thing and it was possibly just nerves, the baby growing. I certainly didn't have it in my first pregnancy, but oh, it was awful, and at times I was just in tears thinking, is this going to be it till the end of the pregnancy? It's just awful. But it went away and then kind of sometimes came back. Like it would get really bad, sometimes when I was moving and walking, so just like sitting down was sometimes nice because then you didn't have to move much. And it went from like being worse at night and then it was like worse in the morning. It was really weird. The midwife suggested a tubey grip, which I got a tubey grip from my last midwife appointment, but I don't know why, but I actually think that the tubey grip was making it worse. So I've stopped the tubey grip and I've got a band, like a black band that I've been wearing, and that seems, I haven't had it since. I get it now and again, I can feel it, but on the odd occasion, but nothing compared to what it was. But oh, it was awful. A couple of people suggested like putting on an ice patch, and I did do that a couple of times, like put a cold cloth over it just to see if that would just take away some of the tension and the pressure and the pain. But if you've had that before, let me know if you've done anything with it. I don't know if it's just baby was lying on a nerve or something, or just the pressure against my belly button. I don't know, but it was absolutely horrific, and I'm just thanking my lucky stars that it's gone away and praying that it doesn't come back. So that was that. There hasn't really been, like, I think the last time I spoke about maybe feeling a bit sick, that seems to have passed. So I don't know if like that week 28 was a big week for maybe hormones or growth or something. So I haven't really felt sick or anything. And I think other than that, there hasn't really been much symptoms. That seems to be like the main two. Obviously getting like really sore, back's getting sore, feet are swelling, you know, just all the sort of like lovely things that comes with pregnancy that you can only really expect in the 3rd trimester when you're getting to the point you're kind of nearing that end mark. I haven't had any appointments this week. It's been a quiet week, but it's just been a bit hectic because, as I say, we've obviously been renovating, so that's kind of been taking priority, getting organised, or Craig's been doing that and I've been looking after Olivia. So. But we'll get there, just a couple of weeks hopefully, and things should be all in place, and then we can start getting organised for baby coming. But that's probably it in terms of symptoms. I got Braxton Hicks towards the end of Olivia's pregnancy, and it wasn't like serious Braxton Hicks or anything. It was just like my stomach would go hard, it would go into a funny shape. It didn't really bother me or anything like that, but today I think I did take a bit of a funny turn. I don't know what it was. I think it was Braxton Hicks, because there was like times where my stomach was going hard, and it wasn't like sore, it was just like really tight, and you could just feel this pressure, and it didn't particularly look a funny shape, but it was just like rock solid and you know, just really tight. And I don't know, it happened at work. It took a little like I wouldn't say I had a sore head, but you know, just when your head sometimes feels like it's just a bit blurry and fuzzy, and I was just like, got really hot, and I didn't have a sore head, but it was just like you could feel like a residue of a sore head, if that makes sense. Just felt a bit blech. I just didn't feel right at all. I had quite a lot of like cramping, but it wasn't it was like on top of my bump or at the sides or on my back, so it wasn't like, I didn't feel like it was serious. It was just really uncomfortable, and I think it was coming in like sort of waves. So thankfully I came home and just sat down and it settled down, but that was a bit scary. I think it's definitely a sign that I need to start taking the pace down, but it's difficult when you've got a 2-year-old and you're working and you're just trying to get organised. Like I did the kitchen, I cleaned the kitchen on Sunday, so if you haven't seen that speed clean video, I'll link it below. And it was probably too much really, but you just want to get the house tidied, and I've been so behind on like housework that I just want to get everything tidied up. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a nesting period. I'm quite like that anyway, but I'm just like focused on getting this house organised for baby coming. But yeah, not so much that night, but the night after I had really bad hip pain, and I was literally every hour waking up having to turn over because the side that I was lying on was so sore. So I think I probably did a little bit too much, but it's done now. And thankfully it seems to have eased off the last couple of nights, and I've been getting a good sleep. That certainly didn't help my exhaustion. But that is it for weeks 28 to 30. I'll try and do these maybe fortnightly now that we're into the last hurdles, and we'll see how we go on, but I will show you my bump. As you can see, it's getting so big. I was comparing it to Olivia's bump, and it just looks so different. It really does. Just like, it's all in the front, there's nothing sort of to the sides, which I felt like I did get with Olivia. It really is all on the front like a big ball, so it's it from the front. Excuse if there's any marks on the t-shirt. But yeah, it's definitely getting big, bulky, uncomfortable, hard to dress. I'm just over it. But we're into the final stages now, so it won't be long and it will go, and that will be it. So I'm going to finish things off here. I really hope you've liked this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and if you are new, I would love you to hit the subscribe button. I'll link all other updates down below if you want to see them, and we'll catch you the next time. Bye bye.